Ready when you are, Joe.
Alright, well, I just kind of wanted to introduce myself. I'm Scale Holden. I work in guest services as well as a brand ambassador on Matt Damon's marketing team. Well, let's go ahead and get started. This is Topgolf returning to you. So this episode of Topgolf returning to you is about, the first video is going to be about when the first time I tried out for TIA. How I kind of didn't make it and how I actually succeeded in the training here and made myself better as a Topgolf instructor. So, given how this video was, we got let's go really fast, and I'm going to go to Windows Media Player to watch the first video. So, there begins our training with Drew of the Rising Star. So, while away, I was in TIA crew.
I've been working for 6 months. I know I can beat you.
Sorry about that. So while I was gone in TIA crew, I performed kind of raised my state of energy, what Drew was talking about. Raised my state of energy by accomplishing a couple of goals that I set out when I first started working at Topgolf. One of the ones that I got to do when TIA crew left, I actually became one of the lead trainers. So got to help out with the training, like the core classes, and helping out with X Factor. Got to help out a little bit more since some of the other elite trainers are gone, so it got me more experience for I could work better here. Also, one of the goals that I set, this is actually a picture of a slide in my last TF Crew video, the presentation. One of them was actually join the marketing team. Like I said earlier, I actually became a brand ambassador on Matt Damon's team, and kind of Matt Damon's team, so got one of my goals succeeded, and one of my goals I set out for in my last TF Crew video. As well as become best in sales. We did our first guest services contest, and I actually got about first place for top sales, and my team that I was on in getting second between like 3 points. So I was able to work together with the team, as well as achieve my individual goals. And the reason how I was able to achieve that is through our tailgate party that we have here every Sunday. As well as most recently, accomplishment actually winning a Star Award, winning the Hospitality Award. That's one of my favorite classes to teach, along with Spirits pretty much like it. So I was really happy to win that Spirit Award. One thing that I learned right before TF Crew left, we did Train the Trainer. This allowed us to kind of congregate as all trainers and kind of figure out why we're all here, what made us trainers, and what kind of made us special. One video that we watched in Train the Trainer was, it was a man speaking that if you want to succeed in something, you have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. Ever since TF Crew left, I feel like I haven't been able to breathe, and that's why I want TF Crew now, so I can finally start breathing again, kind of get back into motion. And we also played this game where we actually got to kind of brag about the other trainers there. Kind of saying what makes them trainers here. And that kind of made me think of that all of us have superpowers, which I call a TGP. Each Topgolf associate has their own TGP power, maybe depending on where they work or what they do or how, I would say, how they do the things they do. So maybe a bay host might have a different TGP power than someone in guest services. But you might have one same one, maybe building relationships and maybe sales, like maybe me and Tara have. We have, some people have maybe the same TGP power, but how they perform and act with that power is different. So, at Topgolf, we do have some really powerful Spirit users. I kind of want to highlight some of them as I saw here. And each of these have a really unique Spirit power. So I started off with Daniel Sanchez, the DJ SAOK. He's able to control the masses through his music and enable other TF Crew members and other trainers to unlock their Spirit potential so we can pick them out and join them here. As well as Jared Holman. He leads the classes, aka scientist, he leads the classes and teaches them and able to unlock and master Spirit user powers. As well as with his work in creating classes. So he's able to create Topgolf Law. That's a very unique Spirit power that not many have. As also, since he is a scientist, he actually scientifically infuses Spirit into associates, which through an element called Drinium that he created himself. And our final one, Brad Spofford, Commander Spoff. He leads the Boston Topgolf crew and unites Spirit users with his O-ring that every associate carries on their ring. But his true powers are unknown, but some say he's able to script the Spirit energy from an associate. So, when Spirit users, when they use their power, it does kind of tire them out. Much like when you see on the National Geographic Channel, you see tribes doing a rain dance to summon the rain spirit. We turn up at Topgolf to regain their Topgolf Spirit user power. And this is one of the little rituals that we have here. Let's check it out.
Con los terroristas.
So this was a pre-shift. This was a pre-shift. This is much like what I do at home right before I come to work. I do kind of daily pre-work affirmations. Most of the time it's me, my brother, maybe whoever we take to work. We just turn on loud, we turn on loud, we just immediately jump step, hip hop, and we just go crazy. And I do something like this every day before work, and I think my brother will be able to testify to that as well. So, right where we left off, you saw me and Drew beginning their training. Let's see how he did. Drew's about to face Skunk Vader. Let's see how he did.
Now that it's gone, I can finally go to your group, knowing that the awesome sight is in safe hands now that you're the spirit you're the master now. Thank you, Drew. Thank you for everything.
Alright, let's go back to the last little bit of the video of the presentation. So right where they left off, Drew just defeated Skunk Vader. The reason why I myself didn't defeat Skunk Vader is because I needed to make sure that the awesome sight was safe and able. So that's why Drew had to defeat Skunk Vader, because I needed to make sure that our site was safe here. Because what's the point of even moving up when you leave? Your home is going to be trashed or not in the right hands. Make sure that Skunk Vader wouldn't come back. That's why I let Drew defeat Skunk Vader instead of myself, so I can make sure that our home site was safe. And I just wanted to thank a couple of people, all the main hosts that worked last Friday. They were really big help, as well as Drew Prince, our rising star. They were amazing. And that is Top Golf Return with Tia. You'll probably see me over here at this table. My name is Mr. Caleb. Caleb, you can call me that. I'll be doing a little lesson today. Well, let's do a little review of what we learned so far. What was day one about? What was day one about? We see the picture right over here. Who do we meet on day one?
Jesus.
Yeah, we met Jesus.
And we met Dad.
Yeah, we spoke to his dad, but I heard that it was John the Baptist. What happened when John the Baptist baptized Jesus? What happened? Okay, a dove came down to Jesus, and then it was the Holy Spirit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then what happened next? Can someone else tell me?
He said, "This is my beloved."
Exactly. God spoke to John the Baptist and all those people, and it said, "This is my beloved son." Okay, so now what was day two about? What was that about? What happened on day two? You know again, what was it? It was about food. You like food?
Yes, what do you do? And 5.
Yeah, he did a miracle. Day 2 was about Jesus was more than just was more than just a good man. He was able to perform miracles through God. What was the second miracle he did that day? He walked on water. That was correct. With the other disciples. So that was another eyewitness, as well as another miracle that he did to prove that he's more than just a good man. And then it was yesterday. What was yesterday? So, he died on the cross. It was, did Jesus really die?
No.
He did die. You saw it. Remember? Don't get ahead. Say that for a little bit later. Put it in your pocket, and I know you have an answer in a little bit. Okay? Yeah. Okay. But he actually did die. That was we're about to learn about what he did today. So we're going to learn today is Jesus really alive? So, and that's why I have this little picture. So we're going to be learning from Luke. He was one of the other apostles. So if you have a Bible, go ahead and turn to Luke chapter 24. We'll be starting from the beginning of Luke chapter 24. So that all the table leaders find it.
Can I find it? That's my name. Right here. That's my name. There's a picture.
All right. Almost everyone has it. So, at the very beginning, I will go 1 through verse 48. So, what I want, there's a lot of evidence in here. So, if I get ahead of myself, I want y'all to kind of call out, raise your hand to stop me, because there's a lot of evidence I have to go through. So, we're going to take a look at it. Okay, so if you see an eyewitness, who's there, or if you see maybe like a miracle happen, stop me. Say, like, hey, follow me, or something like that, okay? So, has everyone found it? We're going to go ahead and start reading. Very beginning of chapter 24. Very early on the first day of the week, at dawn, the women came to the tomb, bringing spices that they had prepared. They found the stone rolled away from the entrance of the tomb. Oh, was that some evidence? It was. I'm glad you stopped. So we'll stop there for one moment. Okay, so it was, people who were there at the tomb was the three Marys. Mother of Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and who's the third Mary? I think it was. There was one other Mary with them. So they went to the tomb, and they saw the stone blown away. So they're trying to figure out, hey, what happened? Why is the stone rolled away? Okay, so we'll go back to reading. Okay, but when they went into the tomb, they did not find the body of Lord Jesus. Was that? I think that was another clue. They didn't see the body. They just saw the clothes they just wrapped in. So that's another clue. So they started to collect some evidence at the tomb. So they're probably wondering, what's happening? Where is Jesus? Why is his body not there? So that's the reason why they came. Okay. So while they were wondering about this, two men in shining clothes suddenly stood beside him. So I mean that's another two people that they saw that they met. It was let's see who it was. The women were afraid and bowed their heads to the ground. I think if these people just suddenly appeared, I think they were angels. There were two men angels there, and they were frightened when they see them. They were wearing really, really bright clothes. Okay. Women were afraid and bowed their heads to the ground. Men said to them, "Why are you looking for a living person in the place of the dead?" A tomb is where you place dead people after they die. So, but the angel said to them, "Hey, you should know that Jesus is alive. You're looking for him in a place where you put dead people." Okay. He is risen. He is risen from the dead. Do you remember what he told you in Galilee? He said he is the Son of Man. He must be handed over to sinful people and be crucified, crucified, and raised from the dead on the third day. So that's an evidence. That's another little piece of evidence that they knew that they could have used. What was that? Yeah, that was another one. So I'm glad you stopped me. That's another piece of evidence that they found. Hey, they already knew. They just kind of forgot because they really thought he died, but they for some reason forgotten what Jesus told them before. All right, let's keep on reading. Okay, so after that, the three women remember what Jesus said. The women left the tomb and told all these things to the 11 apostles. So after three men left the tomb, they ran over to war to find the other 11 apostles, where they're just kind of hanging out. And they told this. So that's another witness. They saw that Jesus' body wasn't there, so they ran to tell more people. That's another eyewitness that they found. So that's another 11. Okay, and the other followers, it was Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and the mother of James, and some other women who told the apostles everything that happened at the tomb. But they did not believe the women because it sounded like nonsense. So after they were an eyewitness, the apostles and other followers didn't even believe Mary's when they told them this, even though they were an eyewitness. So when something happens and you think, I was there, I know exactly what happened, don't you think you should believe them because they were there when it all happened? Isn't that right? Yeah, they're an eyewitness. They know exactly what happened because they saw it with their own eyes. So, they thought it was nonsense. But Peter, one of the other apostles, he got up and ran straight to the tomb. Looking, he saw the clothes of Jesus' body was wrapped in. Peter went away to his home, wondering what has happened. So Peter didn't even believe them. He went to the tomb. Was like, no, I don't think he's really alive. Someone must have took his body, rolled stone away himself, and took the body. So he's wondering what happened. And goes to his home. Okay, so kind of fast forward. It's later that day. The same day, two followers of Jesus were going to a town named Epidemius, I believe that's how it's pronounced, about 7 miles away from Jerusalem. They were talking. That's another piece of. Emmaus. My bad. There's about 7 miles away from Jerusalem. They were talking about what just happened. So they were with the followers of when Mary, the other Marys, came and spoke to them. They were just talking about it on the way to the next city. While they were talking, discussing, Jesus himself came near and began walking with them, just kind of talking about what just happened. And Jesus just came. So that's those two people, those two followers of Jesus, were eyewitness because they saw Jesus live walking. But let's see what happens. Okay, Jesus himself came near them, began walking with them, but they were kept from recognizing him. For some reason, Jesus didn't want them to know yet. They wanted to ask him questions, so by what they asked them, they'll figure it out. But let's keep on reading. The two followers stopped, looking very sad. They had one named Cleopas answered, "You're the only visitor in Jerusalem who does not know what happened there." Jesus said to them, "What are you talking about?" He's kind of playing along with them. They can't tell who Jesus is. Oh, what are you talking about? So they're letting him talk about what's happened. They said about Jesus Christ of Nazareth. He was a prophet who did many powerful things before God, and all the people, our leaders, did many powerful things, and God, all the people, our leaders, and the leading priests handed him over and sentenced him to death, and they crucified him. But we were hoping that he would free Israel. Besides this, it is now the third day since this happened, and today someone among us, early this morning, went to the tomb, but they did not find the body there. So they know what happened. They knew that the body was not there, and they're telling this to Jesus. and they said that they seen a vision of angels. So some from our group went to the tomb, and they just what the women said, they did not find Jesus. Then Jesus said to them, "Are you foolish? Are you foolish and slow to believe everything the prophets have said? That Christ must suffer these things before he enters his glory." So they were referring to the Psalms and other past scripture, because like the angel said to them, the Old Testament told them they knew exactly this was going to happen, and they still didn't really believe it or think much of it. Then starting with Moses and all the other prophets I said about him, Jesus began to explain everything that he has written about himself in the scriptures. Then they came to the town, and Jesus acted if he was going further, but then they begged him, stay with us, because it's late and it's almost night. So they went back to the house. We're gonna rest here, hang out with us, and they're gonna have dinner with us. So they're having dinner, and the two men, they let Jesus do the breaking of the bread and the prayer over the food. And then Jesus reveals himself to them. So that's when they figured out that they were speaking to Jesus the whole time. And then he vanishes. These men, after they recognize, hey, we were speaking to Jesus and we just didn't notice until he broke the bread. These men get up out their seats and they run back to Jerusalem to speak to the other men, saying, hey, we just saw Jesus. We know he's alive. We spoke to him. We know that he's alive. That's another eyewitness. So we already met a whole bunch of people who saw these events happen and that saw Jesus alive. But it goes even further. All right, let's see where we're at with that. When Jesus went to... Okay. After the two men get back to Jerusalem, Jesus appears in the middle of the room with all the other 11 apostles and the two followers. They're saying that they saw Jesus walking with them. Jesus appears in the middle of the room and he says, "Peace be with you." They were fearful and terrified. They thought they were seeing a ghost. Have y'all ever seen a ghost before?
Yeah.
I haven't. They thought that they were seeing a ghost. You seen a ghost before?
Yeah.
Where?
I see, yeah, and I always see, I see white things,
Ooh. That's kind of scary, but they were in the presence of God and they knew they saw that there wasn't a ghost.
I saw one ghost in Halloween.
And Halloween, yeah, I think they come out at that time. All right, let's get back to the story. They thought that they were seeing a ghost, and they were terrified. But Jesus said, "Why are you troubled? Why do you doubt what you see? Look at my hands." So they saw, they're with them, and they saw Jesus' hands. They looked at his hands, and they saw that where the nails were in his hands and his feet. They also saw Jesus eating bread. They was eating with them. I believe it says, "Feel me, feel my feet. You see my feet. You see everything. You know this is me. You know who I am." After Jesus said this, he showed them his hands and feet. They still could not believe because they were amazed and happy that Jesus said to them, "Do you have food here?" Then they gave him a piece of fish. While the followers watched, Jesus took and ate the fish. So they saw him eat. They were like, "Is he really eating this? Okay, you know this is how it goes. You know this is how it goes. He's eating. Ghosts, you know ghosts can't eat, right?"
Yeah.
Exactly.
They eat, they'll fall.
Yeah, we'll fall right through him. Okay, so they saw him eat and it didn't phase right through him, so they knew it wasn't a ghost. So that's when they started to believe, yes, this is our Lord and Savior. This is Jesus Christ. Okay. And remember when I was with you before, I said everything written must happen, everything in the law of Moses and books of the prophets and Psalms. Then Jesus opened their minds so they could understand scriptures. He said, "It is written that Christ would suffer and rise from the dead on the third day, and change the hearts and lives, and for the forgiveness of sins, which will be preached will be preached in his name to all nations, starting at Jerusalem. You are all witnesses of this. So they all saw this. They all heard Jesus speak. They're supposed to go out into the nations, go out to your neighbors, your friends, and find people who do not believe, and tell them all the amazing things that happened to them. So after they know this, God sends them out with a goal, a plan. I will send you what my Father has promised, but you must stay in Jerusalem until you have received the power from heaven. Okay, so after that, they have dinner, and later a couple of days later, Jesus actually goes back into heaven. So there's about 40 days Jesus stayed with them after he was risen from the dead. So they know that Jesus is alive. And they have proof of it. There's plenty of people in those 40 days that saw Jesus alive. He was testifying that his word is true. And through the past scriptures, they know that Jesus is alive now. And he said he did all the things that he said he would. So with this, we have faith as Christians that we know that we can tell y'all through his word that Jesus is alive and he's able to save us. Where do you got? All right.